Today, we're going to talk about how you should answer the why do you want to be a doctor question in your medical school interviews. You've worked so hard to be a competitive applicant and earn your invitations to interview at medical schools you've been dreaming of for years. Now, it all comes down to this final step. Just one last barrier between you and your white coat. Imagine yourself sitting down at your medical school interview. You're nervous, but slowly start relaxing into the conversation. Then your interviewer asks, why do you want to be a doctor? You hesitate. What do you say? How do you answer without being cliche? You start spouting vague generalities about helping people and notice your interviewer's eyes shift around the room. You've lost their interest by giving the same answer as every other med school applicant. So what can you do differently? How do you avoid this common med school interview mistake to the why do you want to be a doctor question? If you're nervous about acing your med school interviews, we're here to help you put your best foot forward by preparing you to give a memorable and unique why do you want to be a doctor response. I'm Dr. Pranjal Gupta, medical school admissions expert from Shemmassian Academic Consulting. In this video, we'll show you how to approach the why do you want to be a doctor question and prepare a standout response. We'll warn you about the topics you should avoid and give you expert advice on how to impress your interviewers with your delivery. We'll offer you a sample answer to the why do you want to be a doctor question and then guide you through a brainstorming activity so you can start outlining your own unique response. Let's get started. For the why do you want to be a doctor question, let's first consider what your interviewers are looking for when they ask you, why do you want to be a doctor? On a fundamental but important level, they want to hear a coherent, direct answer that demonstrates consistency with your medical school application. The interview as a whole is meant to evaluate your communication skills and see if you're as great in person as you were on your med school application. So keep those objectives in mind as you prepare for every medical school interview question. With the why do you want to be a doctor question specifically, your interviewers want you to show that you possess strong self-awareness. What are your reasons for becoming a physician? Why is medicine your dream career? After 4 or more challenging years of pre-med study, you're expected to have a well thought out answer to this interview question. Many med school applicants have the misconception that they should avoid talking about a love for science or helping people, thinking that that's too common of a response. And we get it. When the competition is so high, you want to find a way to stand out in your interviews. But medicine at its core is a combination of science and helping people. Med school adcoms expect to hear that those are two of your greatest passions. Besides loving science and helping people, what are your other valid motivations you might have for wanting to be a doctor? Maybe it's because you want to make a positive impact, you enjoy solving puzzles or problems, like collaborating with others, you want to engage in lifelong learning, or love regularly facing new challenges. Most why do you want to be a doctor responses will feature a few of these reasons. So maybe your reasons and motivations for becoming a doctor are the same ones that many other applicants have. And really, that's okay. You don't have to come up with a totally new, unique reason for pursuing medicine to give an interesting and memorable answer to the why do you want to be a doctor question. Here's the secret. You should focus your response on your unique experiences that illustrate your reasons for pursuing medicine. Here's what that looks like. Share specific anecdotes that have been significant to your journey towards medical school. You could use the experiences you referenced in your personal statement or your work and activity section. It might be a volunteer, work, or academic event that triggered your medical interest. Your reasons for becoming a doctor may not be 100% unique, but no one else has lived your life. Your story is one of a kind, and it offers great material for a memorable why do you want to be a doctor response. Now that you know how to approach the why do you want to be a doctor question, let's go over a few common mistakes you want to avoid in your response. First, don't repeat your resume or work and activity section. That'll be dry and boring to the interviewer. Plus, it's likely information they already know. Second, don't be vague or generic. We touched on this already, but it's worth repeating because it's so important. Saying, I want to be a doctor because I love helping people and I love science is fine only if you use specific and memorable anecdotes to show why. Even then, consider how you can be even more focused in your response. Is there a specific aspect of science that you love the most, or a certain goal that you want to help people achieve? For example, saying I want to help people in low-income communities live healthier and longer lives is more unique. And it's a more unique answer that will likely stick with your interviewers. Here's a third mistake for you to avoid. Don't over-rehearse your response. If you memorize your answer word for word, you'll end up sounding robotic and stiff. You want to create an outline of key points and practice delivering your response until it comes out smoothly. But you still want your answer to have a conversational and sort of natural feel to it. This brings us to a few other tips we want to share with you, how to impress your interviewers on interview day. In your medical school interviews, what you say is just as important as how you say it. You want to show confidence by making appropriate eye contact, by speaking at a normal volume, not too loud and not too quiet, and by using a self-assured tone. You want your answers to progress clearly from one point to the next, without rambling and seeming like you don't really know where your response is headed. And you want your every answer to directly address each of the questions at hand. These are the standard guidelines you want to use when answering every medical school interview question. But to be memorable in your why do you want to be a doctor response, you have to up the ante. Above all, you want to be engaging and authentic. You want to speak from your heart. After all, these are your experiences and your motivations that you're sharing. Express the passion and enthusiasm that you feel. Your interviewers know it's there, otherwise you wouldn't have made it this far in the med school admissions process. Let them feel that intensity of your desire to be a doctor and convey these emotions contained within your story. If your interviewers are able to connect emotionally with what you share, you'll be sure to make a long-lasting impression on them. For even more suggestions on how to impress on interview day and improve your admissions odds, as well as sample answers to the most common med school interview questions, check out our medical school admissions guide and medical school interview guide after this video. The link to the interview guide is in the description box below. It's a perfect resource to boost your confidence and help you ace your medical school interviews. Before we help you outline your answer to the why do you want to be a doctor question, here's a sample response that incorporates all of the advice that we've just shared. So here it goes. I started college as an engineering major because I love science and innovation. But talking to my freshman roommate, who was a pre-med bio major, piqued my interest in medicine. So I went home that summer and I shadowed a local doctor. That's when I realized what was missing for me from an engineering career. It was that personal interaction of working directly with people. I love that doctors get to use science to help people live happier and healthier lives. When I got back to school my sophomore year, I started to volunteer at a university hospital. Right from the start, I was helping patients in the oncology department recover from their cancer procedures. I discovered the work of an oncologist, and it seemed like it was solving a challenging and complex puzzle, which was right up my alley. Doctors examine all the available options and figure out the best way to put them together to achieve the optimal result for the patient. This is exactly the type of work I want to do and the impact that I want to have in my career. As you can see, this response tells a story of how this applicant discovered and explored their interest in medicine. At the same time, it weaves in the reasons why they're a perfect fit for a medical career. They love science, love working with people, and love solving challenging puzzles. An answer like this is sure to make a positive impression. All right, now it's time for you to participate in the process and create an outline for your own why do you want to be a doctor response. Get ready to pause the video and jot down a few of your thoughts. First, think of 2 or 3 of the main reasons why you want to be a medical doctor. Some of the ones we've already mentioned are desires to explore science, help others, make an impact, solve puzzles, work as a team, face new challenges, and engage in lifelong learning. You might have different ones altogether, and that's great. Pause the video and take a minute or 2 to clarify your reasons. All right, welcome back. Set your reasons for pursuing medicine aside for a moment. Now we want you to recall the first moment when you became interested in a medical career. Was it in that biology class when you couldn't stop being amazed at the intricacy of the human body? Were you in the hospital visiting a sick family member? Whatever that moment was, it's completely unique to you. Pause the video to write down the details. Next, think of how you went about exploring medicine as a potential career. Did you take further science classes? Did you volunteer at a hospital? Did you shadow a doctor? Did you even watch Dr. Mike videos on YouTube? Pause the video and write down 1 or 2 steps you took to explore medicine. Now that you have those, try to identify the moment when you decided for sure that medicine was your calling. Maybe you were volunteering or working and all of a sudden it hit you. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Or perhaps you were inspired by a doctor you were shadowing. Pause the video to find that specific moment. All right, let's review what you've written down during this activity. You have your main reasons for wanting to be a doctor. You have 3 significant experiences in your medical journey. The moment you first thought about pursuing medicine, the ways in which you explored a medical career, and the moment when you realized that medicine was your calling. That's the perfect outline for your why do you want to be a doctor response. Connect those 3 experiences into a narrative and weave in your motivations for pursuing medicine. And with a bit of practice, you'll be ready to impress your interviewers with a unique and memorable answer to why do you want to be a doctor question. There you have it. Everything you need to give a standout why do you want to be a doctor response and ace your medical school interview, getting you 1 step closer to making your medical school dreams come true. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. And if you'd like to learn more about the med school admissions process, click the link in the description to get our free comprehensive guide, How to Get into Medical School. The guide contains a bonus section, Harnessing Psychology to Ace Your Medical School Interviews, where we share the best strategies to help you impress your admissions committees on interview day. All right, thanks again for watching. See you next time.